Well, I'm sure glad that I have my little smartwatch here because according to my health monitor on my smartwatch, I died during that game. Let's talk about it. Well, that was close. uh, Miami Dolphins beat the New York Jets 32-26 in overtime on a masterclass of quarterback play on that last game-winning drive by Tua Tagovailoa. Jonnu Smith had no catches the entire game, and then in overtime on that drive, he had 3 catches that were huge, including the touchdown reception. And, I mean, we're going to get into the stats and everything, but I just wanted to start out with our defense struggled in this game. However, near the end of that game, when it came down to it, when push came to shove, our defense got some stops when we absolutely needed them. So, obviously, there's a lot on defense we need to clean up. Aaron Rodgers had a pretty good game. He hadn't had a 300-yard passing game all year, and this was the game where he did it. It's actually been even longer than that, a couple years since he's had a 300-yard passing game. Now, of course, he was injured all season last year, so, I mean, take that stat with a grain of salt, but this game was incredible. Like I said, I kind of was thinking this was going to be a blowout for Miami, and some people are pissed off that it wasn't. I'm happier that it ended up this way. I didn't think it was going to be this way, but I'm happier. And the reason is because you've heard it. Tua can't put the team on his back and win a game when he needs to win a game. Tua can't win games in December. Tua can't do these things. Well, today he did a couple of those things. He won a game in December. He won a game when they were losing, and he repeatedly had to put the team on his back and go and get this win. He did it before time expired in the regulation, driving the team down the field to get that field goal. He did it before that in the previous possession when the Dolphins were down a significant amount of points and they needed a touchdown. He drove down the field, got us the touchdown. Then in overtime, put the team on his back and said, Jonnu, get ready. And that's exactly what happened. At the end of that game, Tua was pumped before the overtime started when Jason Sanders made that field goal. Shout out to Jason Sanders. Played pretty well today. Missed that one extra point, but made up for it with his field goals, especially the one to take us into overtime. 52 yards, 12 seconds left, just right down the middle. Beautiful kick. I mean, he played great. So shout out Jason Sanders. Well done, buddy. Definitely would need a game ball for him for sure. Tua gets a game ball for sure. The way that he took control of this game, the way he recognized, well, and like I said, I'm not saying Tua is the greatest quarterback in the world. I'm not saying he is an elite quarterback, but he had an elite moment today. The way he played when we needed him to play it. Fantastic job by Tua Tagovailoa. And ironically enough, in the last seven games or so, or since he's been back, this is one of his lowest completion percentages. I think it was like 69%, which is great, but still, that's one of his lowest ones. And this is that game that I look at and say, he put the team on his back and won this game. He recognized that our defense was struggling. Even though our defense stepped up at the end, we gave up a lot. Our defense got shredded in the secondary in this game. And I'll get into all that a little later, like maybe in the next video when we talk about what happened. But right now, I just want to leave it at that. Our defense got shredded in the secondary. We pretty much stopped the run. I mean, I think they had 83 or 84 yards rushing. I'll look at the stats here in a second. We'll get into all that, but we got shredded on passing. Aaron Rodgers had, like I said, his first 300-yard passing game in eons. And there was a moment there in the fourth where you're thinking, the Jets are going to win this game, and the Dolphins are going to lose it like they always do. They're going to not be able to come back. They're going to give this up. Until Tua happened. Tua put this game on his back, put our team on his back, and took us to a victory. You saw there was posts on Twitter and Facebook all over from people. Oh, here comes Tua Tagovailoa, going to ruin the game and not be able to get us a win. How'd that work out for you? Are you a Dolphins fan? Good job, Tua. Like I said, I don't think you should have been having that huge contract this year. I think you should have played on your fifth. I don't think you're the greatest quarterback in the world, but I think you're a good one. And today, you played great. No way around it. No one can say anything about the game that Tua played today. And if you think you can, man, how badly do you want to look like an ass? Because he played fantastic. So, let's look at some stats here and get into some of this. Tua Tagovailoa, we'll start with the quarterbacks. 33 of 47. And it's like a 69, 68% completion percentage. Still great, but not as good as he has been. 331 yards, 2 touchdowns, an 80.4 QBR, and a rating of 104.1. Great game. Not one of his better games this year, but a great game considering what happened and when he did it. He didn't do it in garbage time, as some of you like to point out. So, fantastic game by Tua. Our rushing game was, it was gross. And that's partially why Tua had to put us on his back. Our rushing game was not good. Devon Achane, 14 carries for 24 yards. He did have his touchdown. Jalen Wright, 2 carries for 7 yards. Tyreek Hill had a rush for 6. Jeff Wilson was in there for a carry. He got 4 yards on it. And Tua even rushed for 3 yards. Tua was not sacked today either, by the way. So, Tyreek Hill, 10 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. That was good. Jalen Waddle, 9 catches, 99 yards. Another good game by Waddle. We almost had 2 people with 100 yards receiving. Achane, 6 catches for 45 yards. Jonnu Smith, 3 catches, 44 yards, all of them in overtime on that last drive and the game-winning touchdown. Whew, man. Jonnu Smith is a beast, and he has been one heck of a weapon for us this year. And we lulled him to sleep. Didn't even throw to him once the entire game. And then in overtime, it was Jonnu time. Seems like Tua was actually effectively targeting him specifically, knowing the defense was going to sleep on him. And that touchdown pass where Tua threaded 2 defenders, that ball was perfect. 3 inches to the left or 3 inches to the right, it was a drop or it was a pick. Or a knockdown at worst. Fantastic throw, fantastic catch. Whew, that was when I died. On defense, we had Jordan Brooks had 9 tackles. Kendall Fuller had 8. Jordan Poyer had 7. Kendall Fuller and Jordan Brooks each had a pass defended. Jordan Brooks got a QB hit. Poyer got a QB hit. Poyer played well today. I think he missed 1 tackle there, but played a good game. Anthony Walker, 7 tackles. Great game for him. Jalen Ramsey, 4 tackles, a pass defended. All of Jalen Ramsey's tackles were solo. Zach Sealer, 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits. Great game, Zach Sealer. Now, I will say, one of those sacks that Zach Sealer got could have just as easily been given to Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson was at the bottom and had a hold of his feet, and he was going down. Zach Sealer made the hit. They gave the sack to Zach. Either way, I'm okay with it, but don't sleep on Chop Robinson on that play. He had a big hand in that one. The other sack, I think, was... who was that? Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks had a sack as well. That was when Aaron Rodgers was bouncing around trying to be crazy. Jordan Brooks tried to make a stack on him, kind of missed him a little bit. He slipped out of his hands. He turned around and jumped back at him and made the sack. Great play. Malik Washington, I don't know what to say. He needs a game ball too, because what he did on that last possession in regular time, where we were down 3 points, he took that kickoff to the 45-yard line from the 10, behind the 10 actually. Missed a bunch of tackles, trucked their kicker. Oh my goodness. If you haven't watched that, you need to watch that play. Watch Malik Washington just truck stick their kicker. Run straight through him, put him on his back, and kept going. It was beautiful. Great job, Malik Washington. Like I said, Jason Sanders was 4 of 4. His longest kick today was 57 yards. Great job by him. He needs a game ball for sure. Let's look at the Jets here. Aaron Rodgers, 27 of 39, 339 yards, and 1 touchdown. He had a rating of 104.5 and a QBR of 73.7. So, good game from Aaron Rodgers. Not elite level, but definitely a good game. Braden Allen, 11 carries for 43 yards. Isaiah Davis, 10 carries for 40. So they finished with 83 yards on 21 carries, averaging 4 yards per carry. Yeah. I'm okay with it. Receiving, this is what I'm not okay with. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches, 114 yards. Devontae Adams, 9 catches for 109 yards and a tutty. Like I said, they shredded our secondary. Braden Allen, 4 catches for 38 yards. Tyler Conklin, 3 catches for 33. Isaiah Davis, 3 catches for 27. And Lazard had a catch for 18 yards. We got picked apart a little bit in the secondary. But, like I said, our defense stepped up when it needed to happen. Tua Tagovailoa was not sacked once in this game. And I want to talk a little bit about our offensive line. I am not going to be suckered into this, our offensive line is good. Because they're not. They're having a hard time. However, in this game, our offensive line played well. They did not allow a sack on Tua. Not one. Also, Teron Armstead, right before the game started, got hurt. He didn't play. Chris Paul came in, and he did. He didn't play like a rookie. Paul did great. He played very well in substitution for Teron Armstead. And if he can do that, having a game like this, a division game, when the money's on the line and the Dolphins have to have a win, if he can do what he did today, then I am very, very happy with our draft pick. I'm so happy with Patrick Paul. I'm happy with him that he did what he did today. Played wonderfully. I'm excited to watch some of the All-22 on this game and watch him specifically because I have a feeling that he was one of the game leaders for offensive line play in this game. I can't say for sure. I need to watch the game again, but look for that later on in the week when I talk about that. I have a feeling I'm going to be talking a lot about Mr. Paul and his fantastic offensive line play. They went up, our offensive line did, against one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. And they played well. Now, we always say, what do we always say about our offensive line? Oh, well, they do okay when we play subpar defensive lines. They can't play well against a good defensive line. Well, they did. They did that today. They played well against the defensive line. Tua had time. And you saw it repeatedly. Tua going to his second and third and fourth check on these drop backs. You saw him do it regularly, giving him lanes to pass in. Our offensive line played great. Good job, offensive line. And one of the things that I said needed to happen in this game was that our offensive line needed to step up, and that's exactly what they did. So, well done. I cannot wait to see some of the feedback from YouTube world and Twitter land and all these people that have nothing constructive or good to say other than complaints. I can't wait to see what their videos are going to be like this week. Now, that game was a must-win, and we got it. We moved to 6-7 for the year, and we're on to the next game. I hope our team isn't thinking, we're still in the playoffs, we still have this chance. I don't want them thinking like that. I want them thinking, we beat the Jets, now we have to worry about Houston. That game is in Houston. Houston is going to be a tough win. We have got to play well in that game. If our offensive line can play like they played in this game, we're going to win that game. I'll move on to that later on this week when we cover that game and I give you the keys to victory and we talk about the Houston Texans. However, we're still on the Jets. The Jets have now, with that loss that they just took against us, the Jets are now eliminated from the playoffs completely, officially. I salute you. Couldn't happen to a better group of guys. Keep in mind, I'm still a Dolphins fan, and I don't like the Jets. I can respect the fact that Brett Favre played a good game, and I have friends who are Jets fans, and there are YouTube channels that I follow people who are Jets fans. It feels good. They get another chance at us near the end of the season, at the end of the season for the last game. It is in New York, and I'm sure they will be wanting to avenge this loss. And I hope the Dolphins don't give them a chance. So, Dolphins are 6-7, have moved on. Now they're thinking, hopefully, about the Houston Texans. Great job by your Miami Dolphins. It was a heck of a game to watch. I was extremely nervous for a while there. Like I said, I'm almost glad it went this way because it shut some people up. And that's a good thing. Knowing that people can't just ride on these narratives. There's plenty more to go. Plenty more narratives to go that we need to work on. Defense needs to clean it up a lot. Special teams played a good game. Offensive line played a good game. Offense played a good game as a whole. Our rushing game was suspect at times. I feel like we could clean that up a little better and do a better job. Our offensive line, I will say, is struggling with run blocking. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's just, maybe it's just kind of a lull or a down few games here. But usually our offensive line does pretty well blocking for run. And in this game, especially, they didn't do that good of a job with the run block. But in pass blocking, our offensive line played great. And because of how great they were in pass blocking, I'm going to give them a pass on this game for the run blocking. And I'm going to hope that the coach and the offensive line coordinator and everybody associated with the offense, all the coaches, can help our offensive line come out of their funk with the run game blocking. Time will tell. We'll see. But what a great game. What a great game. I'm amped. Now I can relax, and you can all relax and watch the rest of these games for today and tomorrow. Tomorrow you got a good Monday night game. Let's just relax and watch these games and enjoy it. Most of the teams that we are interested in losing aren't playing today except for the Chargers, so go ahead and root against the Chargers in their game. But other than that, enjoy the games, relax, have a great Sunday. And I'll put out the next video Monday or Tuesday. Until then, have a good time, stay hopeful, and fins up.